Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, Immortal Hulk, issue number 39. This is, if I had to make a pick of the week, this would have to be it. Guys, just staring at this cover alone, my God, I could stare at this cover. My God, Alex Ross, like, how do you do an exact reprint of Buscema? You know what I'm saying? How do you get Keone? How do you get all of these different, how does this not have like 40 people's names on the cover? It's just one guy. Dude, Ross has got to be the guy of our generation, man. Holy crap, amazing. Anyway, let's get talking about who made this comic book, why I love this issue so much, why I'm going to probably break down and cry in fetal position when this run is over. First, let's give credit to the people who are doing that to me. So this issue is called The Stars Move Still. Al Ewing is the writer, Joe Bennett on pencils, Roy Jose and Bellardino Bravo are the inkers, Paul Mounts on colors, VC's Corey Petit on letters, and Alex Ross doing the cover. The interior artist also did the variant cover, and of course, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee created the Hulk. Wow. So we get a story from the past in here, and this is basically how the leader wound up taking over in the below place, the place below. Brian Banner was there. He was alone. He was dealing with things, and the one below all was trying to take over his mind. The leader figured out why, though, because, and this is so Milton to do so. Like, this is, wow. You want to talk about respect to the writers of old, man. Holy crap. Could you imagine if John Milton had access to comic books back then? Imagine a graphic novel coming out of John Milton, right? Or Dante. Like, no, what? You're kidding me, right? Imagine Shakespeare. I'm saying. Anyway, so we have the leader, Samuel Stearns, realizing that the one below all, he's actually not a brilliant mind. In fact, he pretty much has no mind of his own, which is why he's always trying to take over other people's minds. He's, for the most part, just desire. That's crazy. And it's so much easier now to understand just in that one line alone, that one word balloon alone. We now understand issue number 25 better than anything else we could have possibly imagined. Imagine all that unbridled power and rage and desire. And boom, this is what we got. And, you know, we've heard of the Desire Hulk before, right? So I'm really wondering, because that's, I've said it, here it comes again, Ewing drops little tiny snowflakes here and there, and you just think, it's a snowflake. But every so often, one of those snowflakes, boom, turns into something. I'm saying, he said that the one below all is desire. Okay, I love it. So, we get, besides the access to the Green Door and the control of the Green Door and all that stuff, we get the leader actually taking over Brian Banner, actually becoming Brian Banner, still being himself. He's in a lot of places at once. We've already mentioned this. He's in at least 3 places at once. He's actually in more places than just that. Dude, nobody could pull it off like the leader, right? Think about it. The Hulk himself, all of his mind and the different aspects of his mind, they're all inside the mindscape, his mindscape, right? Because outside, Puck is just sitting there talking to him like, yeah, that's right, we're draining your energy. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. And it's like, dude, this guy's going to kill you at some point. I loves me some Puck. Hey, wait a second, my Puck fell. Oh, no, never mind. I don't have him in Sasquatch's hand anymore. He's at his feet now. Anyway, bro, this guy's going to be killed pretty soon. What's so interesting is that Puck has been here since the beginning. Like, practically since issue 1, he's been there. What is this book, dude? So, here's where it starts to get super interesting. With what the leader does is he's able to hatch a plan that is almost defeated, but while Okay. The only way that I can do this is by actually giving you not the history of the leader, but the history of the leader's plans and how he's always thwarted and how most people can't write the leader. So here it goes. The leader is a hyper-intelligent character. The Joker, okay, is a hyper-crazy character. Which is easier, writing a crazy character or an intelligent character? Because you don't need to be hyper-intelligent in order to write hyper-intelligent. I simply don't believe that, right? Greg Pak has written an incredible leader. Peter David has written an incredible leader. I don't see these guys doing half the things that I've done when I was in engineering. I don't see these guys having any great physics accomplishments under their belts. I don't see anything, right? Yet they wrote incredible stories featuring the leader. Hello? But we also see plenty of bad stories written with the leader in it. What we've also seen are lots of really great Joker stories. So you don't have to be hyper intelligent to write the leader. You don't have to be hyper crazy to write the freaking Joker. But this is where we're at now. It's easier to write about crazy because we could see it everywhere. We can read about it everywhere. And even though it might not be easy to understand why someone would be crazy, the how of crazy, we can at least see the consequences of crazy for themselves and for the people around them. And then we just write them and boom, you got a good Joker story. There are plenty of crazy people out there who've escaped from their version of freaking Arkham and done whatever, right? But writing a character like the leader or Egghead, or any intelligent supervillain can't be the easiest thing in the world, right? Because a lot of people don't appreciate hyper-intelligence. A lot of people don't appreciate sciences, all right? And mind you, you have to be creative and not just, like, I don't want to see freaking Neil deGrasse Tyson writing a freaking leader story. I just don't want to see it. But I would love to see him consulted, right? This is somebody who appreciates the sciences, writing an incredible, hyper-intelligent character, namely the leader. How do you write the leader? Especially when the character who's usually defeating him is this child-minded big green oaf who's super strong. It's similar to Superman versus Lex Luthor if Superman had the IQ of a fish stick, right? So it's easier to write that, which is why there's so many great Lex Luthor stories, not so many great leader stories, right? One of the ways you have to be able to write the leader is, one, to understand, boom, hyperintelligence and to appreciate science. Another thing is to also understand a child who would defeat, or at least stop up, a hyperintelligent person. I'm going to give you an example that I've actually given several times before on this channel. Here's this question that somebody just asks the room of scholars and college graduates and doctors, people working on their thesis, you know what I'm saying? They say, how do you put an elephant inside of a refrigerator? Now, they're going to start thinking, what size is the refrigerator? Is it like, an industrial refrigerator? What's the size of the door? What are the dimensions? How big is the elephant? Is it a baby elephant? And they're going to try and think of all these different things. And it's like, I'm not giving you any of that information. It's a refrigerator inside of your home. How do you fit an elephant inside of a refrigerator home? A child doesn't need any of the dimensions or what kind of refrigerator or, like what size of the elephant, like what breed. They don't need any of that nonsense. They just say, you open the refrigerator, you put them in, you close it. It's that simple. And it's the thing that just confounds, and when the person says, that's the correct answer, when it confounds every brilliant person in that room, you've written a great leader story versus the Hulk. That's what you've done. Because the leader's plans cannot be defeated. Look at what he did to Dr. Doom. That's one of the reasons why it was such a great story. But how was the leader defeated? Because a child made this simplest freaking thing, something so simple and absurd and breaking the rules of all physics, of all reason, for crying out loud. And boom, he put the elephant in the refrigerator and closed the door every single time. – That's how you make a brilliant leader versus Hulk story. And that's what we're seeing here, except a caveat, a twist. What? Somebody flipped the script? The leader had this brilliant plan that's been going on since the beginning of this book, and technically prior to that, because, the then place, right? We're seeing all of this insanity. And then his plan is almost thwarted. But somehow, the one thing that he can never predict, that he can't even comprehend that he can count upon to thwart his plans, is the one thing that actually benefited his plan in here. And that's the child-minded Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, helping him. And it was brilliant the way that it was done. I just got into a discussion with issue number 2 of the Juggernaut with some people about how the Hulk has never defeated the Juggernaut before. Mind you, beating throwing somebody, ripping off the helmet, blah, 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 blah. No. That is not defeating. Defeating is boop, boop, boop. Do you give up or are you unconscious? No. Well, then the fight's still on. Also, what do you call it? Being, just because you didn't defeat this person doesn't necessarily mean that you lost the fight. That's not, like I have to over-explain things for some people. The Hulk has never soundly defeated the Juggernaut, all right? Neither is Thor, which is one of the things that makes the Juggernaut such a believable character when he's fighting these characters, and it sucks when the Juggernaut has to go against weak characters that could never possibly beat him. Yes, that includes Spider-Man. Quick dry cement is not going to stop the unstoppable. It's just not. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, if it was non-quick drying cement, that at least might have made me think about it. But quick drying cement, so as soon as it dries, just get out. I mean, how hard is that, right? Anyway, I'm not here to bash anybody else. I'm here to point out that when you have a character like the Hulk, or in this case, characters like the Hulk, there's so much that the leader has to account for. And the one thing that he can't ever account for is the child-minded Hulk. And somehow that worked out to his benefit in this issue. That's something that simply shouldn't have worked. And yet somehow, here we are where I'm blown away by how good this was. And also the thing that we were talking about before is that, Brian Banner would never compliment the Hulk. Well, there was just the ultimate compliment paid in here by Brian Banner. And I'm completely beside myself by the way that it worked, because the child-minded Hulk would have accepted that. And he did. The understanding of the Hulk begins with understanding that there's more than one Hulk. And creating a new Hulk on top of that. I've never done this before. And maybe it's too early to say this, but here it goes. The only thing that I can compare this run to would be Walter Simonson's run on Thor. Because there is no other book out there, no other run of a character that just has me so completely invested, I'm waiting to get an inexpensive omnibus of Walt Simonson's Thor. You know what I'm saying? Because I have almost all of the issues, and I can always go on Marvel Unlimited app, which now you only have to wait for 3 months for new comic books, not 6 anymore. Broski. This is incredible to see this, and I can't wait to buy the omnibus. I said I wanted to buy the omnibus before, but I can't wait to buy the omnibus to just have all of these issues in one place and just be able to go back and reread this again. This is out of this world how good he does this. I'm completely beside myself. And if it had to get any better, the horror porn in this book, there's a spoiler variant pencils here for the next cover. And here's what the next regular cover is going to look like. If you can see that. That is the character that was very innocuous in this book, very background, almost like an afterthought, Joe Fixit in here, chained up. And we remember what was recently said about Joe Fixit. Joe said, why are you keeping me puny, Banner? And Banner's like, I'm not doing that. And he says, boy, I hope that's not true. Because the alternative is not something that I want to deal with, is not something I'm going to enjoy. So what is the alternative? That it's actually him? I told you this was something that is probably going to come up later, and it looks like it's about to. We're about to get Joe Fixit saves the day. The only way for him to break free of those chains is to actually Hulk out. Banner can't Hulk out, so to speak, because he's the source of it all. The Hulks are out of him right now, right? So he can't Hulk out when there's nothing in. Joe Fixit, however, I'm thinking that he's going to wind up taking over for Banner's body, and then, or because at the very least, in the Mindscape, there's only 2 Hulks left. There's only 2 Hulks that are left over. There's Joe Fixit, and there's child-minded, Incredible Hulk. There's only those 2. And if we remember Peter David's run and appreciate how much Al Ewing respects that run, these are the 2 Hulks that got along the least. So the misadventures of these 2 trying to figure their lives out right now, could this book possibly get any better? That's probably how. I don't know what Al Ewing is. Because there's no way that he's just a regular human at this point. This is out of control. So damn good. I appreciate every single thing that he's doing. And again, like the commentary in here about how good these covers are perfect. Absolutely perfect. So read the letters section. Guys, this is definitely my pick of the week. There's zero doubt about it. And the only Marvel book I didn't read yet was actually right here. I'm about to read it now, but there's no way that it lives up to the Immortal Hulk. It's impossible, I'm saying. Guys, thank you for getting all the way to the end of the video. I genuinely appreciate it. Please click through to another video of mine. At the end, it shows the new YouTube algorithm, or at least the newly discovered YouTube algorithm, that you enjoy seeing Comic Book University videos. Also, like the video, watch an ad. Genuinely appreciate it. Love you guys for going all the way to the end of this video, because it's a long one. Seriously, that's love. Platonic. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'd probably buy you a drink. Love you guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.